There's two things that happen around this time of year, and that is the holidays and too many birthdays for me to keep up with.
And when all of those require presents, it's extra stressful. That's why Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping and birthday shopping stress-free and joyful, with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else.
Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Genuinely, I was going through so many book lovers presents, and I was like, I know this is supposed to be a present for someone else, but like, what if it was for me? But then they also have things for like diehard football fans, for foodies, mixologists, and avid gardeners. I have at least 5 avid gardeners in my life.
And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses, which we are all about.
I had no idea about this. It wasn't until we were reading up about Uncommon Goods that with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And they've donated more than $3 million to date. How is it that I feel better about shopping?
So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today.
To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/booktalk.
That's uncommongoods.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK for 15% off.
Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
Hey friends, this is Audie Cornish, host of CNN This Morning and The Assignment, and guess what? Every story you care about, every angle you want unpacked is now streaming on CNN. That means you can catch my show or other CNN programming whenever you want on your favorite device. And a subscription also gets you access to exclusive video series and unlimited articles. So subscribe to CNN at cnn.com/subscription.
Hey there, we're Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy, your book besties who take the novels you love seriously.
This is Jac.
And I'm Amy.
And together, we mix smart analysis with fandom fun. So let's get into it.
This is our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode where we read your thoughts and interpretations as well as discuss Breadcrumbs from chapters 1 through 7 of Sarah J. Maas's third Throne of Glass novel, Heir of Fire.
Before we dive in, don't forget Spilt. Spoilers, perspective, and interpretation, language, and themes.
If you'd like more information, please go back and listen to the start of Tuesday's episode. And if you want to submit your thoughts for our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episodes in the future, make sure to follow us on Instagram where we collect listener submissions.
And you have no idea what we're talking about, go listen to Tuesday's episode, guys. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Let's get into Breadcrumbs. Chapter 1. While Celaena is baking like Tegya on the roof, she notices that, quote, birds circle above, keeping well away from the white-tailed hawk that had been perched atop a nearby chimney all morning, waiting to snatch its next meal. Except that hawk is Rowan, and he's about to snatch Celaena.
Still on the roof and looking out over the marketplace, quote, dredging up some semblance of annoyance, Celaena stuck out her tongue at the guards, at the market, at the hawk on the nearby chimney, at the castle and the prince who lived inside. Rowan continues to lurk nearby.
Maybe that's why he's all insulted. He was like, she stuck her tongue out at me. Still in chapter 1, quote, Maeve, Queen Maeve of the Fae. Maeve knew everything, as was expected when you were older than dirt. We're going to have to look into this family tree and realize how fucking evil she ends up being.
Mm-hmm. Still in chapter 1, quote, she'd learned which tabernas the magic wielders liked to frequent and never went near them, because sometimes she felt a trickling, writhing thing awaken in her gut if she caught a crackle of its energy. Which means Celaena's magic is waking up and she sure doesn't want it to.
Take a sip. In Chapter 2, Rowan is described as, quote, tall, broad-shouldered, every inch of him seemingly corded with muscle. He was a male, blooded with power. He paused in a dusty shaft of sunlight, his silver hair gleaming. Maybe a mate? Sensing a mate? Sunlight in SJM's couples typically comes with mates.
And she's just really into him physically.
She's like, he's so strong. Oh my God, where do his tattoos go?
When Celaena sees the tattoo on Rowan's face, quote, the markings could easily have been decorative, but she still remembered enough of the Fae language to recognize them as words, even in such an artistic rendering. Kind of like the tattoo on Bryce's back in Crescent City.
Still in Chapter 2, Celaena thinks of Rowan, quote, he had probably arrived in another form and perched these horses here. How many more times do we think he showed up as a hawk before Celaena noticed him? Also, did he buy the horses? Did he ride in with the horses? I have more questions.
It says purchased these horses here.
Oh, okay. So then never mind. That was nice. I'm happy that it's answered.
In Chapter 3, quote, Chaol had to clamp down on his terror as he beheld what glinted on Aedion's finger. A black ring, the same that the king, Parrington, and most of those under their control wore. That explained why the king allowed the insolence. When it came down to it, the king's will truly was Aedion's. It's ironic, because that's actually not the case.
Not the case. In Chapter 5, quote, Maeve's sister proclaimed a goddess when she died. Ridiculous, really. Mab had been very much mortal when she tied her life to the human prince who loved her so fiercely. I think next time we're going to come with a family tree and we're going to sit down and map it out, and I will have a PowerPoint presentation involved.
I think Mab is Aelin's great-grandmother.
Yeah.
In Chapter 6, Dorian wonders to himself, quote, how much did Aedion remember his kin across the sea? Again, ironic, because while Dorian means Galen Ash River, the reader knows there's another kin across the sea, a.k.a. Aelin Galathinius.
Chapter 6, we learn from Dorian's point of view that, quote, the healing arts were one of the few that his father hadn't completely outlawed 10 years ago. Though once, he'd heard, they'd been even more powerful. Once healers had used magic to mend and save. Now they were left with whatever nature provided them. A useful tidbit for Assassin's Blade, where we meet Irene and eventually again in Tower of Dawn.
Still in Chapter 6, Sorsha prays to, quote, Silba, goddess of healers and bringer of peace and gentle deaths. Woof.
That's not the one you pray to. That's not.
Silba does not grant her patron a gentle death.
You should have narrowed down what you were trying to pray for. Also in Chapter 6, when thinking about her long to-do list, Sorsha reminds herself that she, quote, still had her weekly letter to write to her friend who wanted every little detail about the palace. It's a little throwaway clue to her future deceit. You'd think someone would just think a little bit harder.
Yeah, seriously. In Chapter 7, Celaena, while in the forest with Rowan on their way to see Queen Maeve, struggles to sleep. Quote, she slept curled on her side, turning every other minute from some root or pebble digging into her back or jolting awake at the screech of an owl or something worse. Is that owl possibly the same owl who is a servant to Maeve?
Probably. In Chapter 7, quote, the forest turned lusher and dense, and the higher they rode, the mistier it became, great veils of fog drifting past to caress her face, her neck, her spine. We learn in House of Flame and Shadow that mist is associated with areas where the veil between worlds are thin. I don't think we should be surprised that this is where Maeve resides.
And last but not least, in Chapter 7, the stones of Maeve's fortress, quote, were dark and ancient, hewn from something other than the abundant granite. Is it perhaps the same stuff as the clock tower in Rifthold?
Maybe. All right.
Broomsticks.
We asked listeners, you wrote it in a fancier way. We basically were like, hey, Celaena starts off drunk at Heir of Fire. Defend it or bash it. And we have many. Let's start at some DMs.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the one from Sage.
Okay.
Sage says, Even though Nehemia wasn't a good friend, if someone I thought was my best friend died and then I was shipped off to a different continent by my ex for my protection, I think I'd also crash out and be drunk and not doing my job very well either.
Honestly, points.
Yep.
Yeah. I would be drinking margaritas in your honor.
It doesn't even, no, we go together.
This one's from DJ. I understand that she is still grieving over Nehemia and trying to figure out the really big issue on the fact that she was ordered to kill her cousin by the king, but this was not the way I expected her to react. She knows that Chaol's life is on the line if she messes this up, and it does not seem like she has even attempted to find a solution. I think this is slightly out of character for her, since up to this point, we see her try to scheme her way out of everything. But I do have to admit that this is my favorite book, mostly because of how rock bottom she is during this and her journey of acceptance. Okay.
I agree.
About it being out of character?
Yeah. Well, everything that DJ said.
I do not agree that this is my favorite book, but I'm willing to be open to it.
I agree in the sense that the only time we have ever seen Celaena hit rock bottom is when it was the anniversary of her parents' death and she had been in Endovir for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only other time she hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
The fact that this is her rock bottom and what brought her here, I call bullshit, especially since she was starting to get on the mend. She was becoming friendlier with Dorian. She got out of her feralness. There was a lot of things. She found a certain level of peace and acceptance in her duty.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. I call
Mhm.
bullshit. I agree with DJ. Okay, this one is from Antonia, or as what we would call, this isn't my cousin Antonia.
Okay.
It's someone else, but we'd call my cousin Antonia. Anyway, if I was manipulated by everyone I considered my friend and forced to step into a role as queen by an ancestor's ghost, I'd want to drown my sorrows too. Plus, I deeply believe she wants to punish herself, make herself smaller somehow, maybe make herself unworthy of said title. Or maybe she just wants to drink. I don't know.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, I'm really stuck on the fact that DJ said, like, Celaena knows that Chaol's life is at risk.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that Celaena still loves Chaol. So how is this
Yeah.
her fucking around in character
Yeah.
if she still has feelings for Chaol? So
And not just Chaol, Dorian's life's at risk too.
it's true. So Kaylee says she's coping. Is it healthy? No. Is it a way of coping that sadly a lot of people use? Yes. Is she having an identity crisis where she's losing everything she knows? Also, yes. It does not make it valid, but a girlie needs therapy in the worst possible way.
I feel like we're going to get more of these where there's a lot of people who are going to be saying, like, it's fine, I do it too. But we got to really look at who Celaena is as a character.
She's 19.
And that is a problem. Okay. Ready for the flash parts? I'm going to cover the one where
I'm going to start from what I think is the end.
Okay. Is it where there's like a drop and there's one that's not next to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cut her some slack. She's just so young after all.
Defend. She was trying to cope.
Who hasn't been there when they're young and depressed? Give the girl a break, lol.
I was at least in my 20s when I abused alcohol.
Yeah.
She lost her best friend and she was traumatized since she was 10. So then why is this the thing that's making her lose it?
Yeah. Part of the grief process. Wine glass.
Fair. Defend. This is the most relatable a fantasy heroine has been, drinking to cope and avoid feelings. I agree that this is relatable. I agree that this type of almost funny, that's not funny, but like almost funny, drowning in your sorrows, I'm just going to lay here on the roof and I'm going to drink and whatever, is so relatable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But has Celaena ever been relatable?
And how is this in character for her?
Exactly.
Kind of fair, to be honest. I would have been drunk so much earlier.
Defend. We've all been there in our own ways. It makes her so much more relatable. A lot of people liking her relatability.
Defend. She finally has a moment to herself. Let her grieve and wallow in peace.
She has had one traumatic experience after the next. She's entitled to some wine.
How the heck did we get here from where Crown of Midnight left off?
That's the thing where I think because her actions are so relatable, it's immediately worthy of defense.
Yeah, they're relatable. They're justifiable. Absolutely. If I had as much trauma as Celaena, I would never be sober.
No.
That does not mean the fact that she was sober that entire 2 weeks at sea.
Yeah.
To then land in Wendlyn and then be like, my cousin's a good guy. I think I gotta go drink.
That's the thing, is that she saw that her cousin is a good guy and that set her off.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you every justifiable reason. I can say, you know what? It's more than that. It's Nehemia's death. It's Chaol's betrayal. It's her being home in the land of her mother's people. It's her having to face her identity. There's a lot of things. However, she says that the thing that really does it was when she saw how loved her cousin was.
I mean, and maybe that's just the straw that broke the camel's back.
True.
But it's not written convincingly enough.
Yeah, there's a lot more back and a lot more straws that she's had. Defend her, not the behavior. She's under-resourced to cope with trauma more adaptively. Oh, she's under-resourced. Yeah, she doesn't have adequate things to help her. Yeah.
Yeah. It did feel a bit out of character, honestly.
Grab a snack, stretch your legs, and listen to this while we plot our next move. I went on vacation recently to this really cute beach coastal town, and there was so much walking and so many fashionable people there, and thank God I had my Walk Slim sneakers by Vionic.
I love my Vionic Walk Slim sneakers. They come with orthotics, which I normally have to buy separately for my regular sneakers.
I was seriously able to walk miles in these things and not complain once.
That's a big deal, guys.
I do complain quite often. Give me a reason to complain, and I will find it, but not with my Vionic.
Vionic's exclusive VO Motion technology is what sets them apart. They've revolutionized medical orthotics, and they continue that science today by engineering shoes that help you feel confident and walk confident.
They also have these amazing Uptown loafers that I have. They're soft suede and leather in warm autumn shades, so you really get to look as fashionable as you want.
They even offer a 30-day guarantee so that you can wear the shoes, love the shoes, or return the shoes within 30 days.
You won't need to do that, though. What you do need is to use our code BOOKTALK at checkout for 15% off your entire order at vionicshoes.com when you log into your account.
It's a one-time use only, so use that code BOOKTALK, BOOKTALK, at checkout for 15% off your entire order.
Vionic shoes, wearable well-being for your feet. Amy, you and I are just getting busier and busier with the holiday season coming up and with all of these book conferences that we're going to, and I just do not have time to go grocery shopping for my food.
Even if I go grocery shopping, I get so bored because all I know how to do is the same thing over and over.
That's why HelloFresh figures it out for you. HelloFresh is the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. That is the kind of service I like.
And this isn't the HelloFresh you remember from a few years ago. They have doubled their menu. You can choose from 100 options each week, including seasonal dishes, and dig into bigger portions that keeps you satisfied.
And they're even healthier. I don't have to stress about shopping for the right healthy food when I get to choose from over 15 high-protein recipes each week with options like grass-fed ribeyes or lamb chops. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies per dish, which is way more veggies than I've been eating. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/BookTalk10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life.
1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied at discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
That's HelloFresh.com/BookTalk10FM. That's BOOKTALK10FM to get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. AG1 Next Gen is a daily health drink clinically shown to support gut health and fill in common nutrient gaps.
What I love about AG1 is the live probiotics that are in the drink in addition to the 75 plus minerals and vitamins. I've tried the probiotic pills and it just doesn't work for me.
You are a probiotic girl.
I try so hard.
My favorite part about AG1 Next Gen is the fact that they have multiple gold standard clinical trials in an industry where not everyone invests heavily on research, AG1 Next Gen goes to great lengths to continually invest in rigorous, peer-reviewed clinical trials.
Not only does AG1 support gut health, it also boosts energy, provides daily nutrients, and supports your immune system. Head to drinkag1.com/booktalk to get a free welcome kit, including a bottle of vitamin D and free AG1 travel packs when you first subscribe.
That's drinkag1.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK. I have been looking for a multivitamin for a really long time, and Ritual has actually always been on my list to check out. And I am so happy that we are partnering with them today because Ritual's essential multis have the nutrients most of us don't get from our food, and all in their clean, absorbable forms.
They're super heavily researched, and there's no shady additives or ingredients that do more harm to your body, which is exactly what I need because I already do enough harm to my body.
And I'm right there with you. I use the Ritual Essential for Women 18 plus, but I also really love their daily protein because getting protein is a full-time job, and Ritual helps me.
I've been loving their Synbiotic Plus gut health because, as all of you know, my gut hates me. It gives you the necessary prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics for a healthy system.
Their Essential for Women 18 Plus multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day.
Ritual's multivitamins are vegan, non-GMO, project verified, gluten, and made allergen-free. And even if you don't think you need those things, trust me, you need those things.
Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health.
Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/booktalk.
Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK for 25% off. There's 2 things that happen around this time of year, and that is the holidays and too many birthdays for me to keep up with.
And when all of those require presents, it's extra stressful. That's why Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping and birthday shopping stress-free and joyful, with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else.
Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Genuinely, I was going through so many book lovers presents, and I was like, I know this is supposed to be a present for someone else, but like, what if it was for me? But then they also have things for like diehard football fans, for foodies, mixologists, and avid gardeners. I have at least 5 avid gardeners in my life.
And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses, which we are all about.
I had no idea about this. It wasn't until we were reading up about Uncommon Goods that with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And they've donated more than $3 million to date. How is it that I feel better about shopping?
So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today.
To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/booktalk.
That's uncommongoods.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK for 15% off.
Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Defend. Girl is lost. She's coping the way she wants to be and feels anything other than her.
Girl don't give a fuck anymore, and if Rowan didn't show up, she might have taken too long to do anything about Erewhon.
The grocery store?
No, the bad guy.
Is it a good look? No. Is it understandable? Kind of. Do I adore her anyway? Always.
The super pathetic pity party makes her relatable.
Defend. Like, give my girl a break. She's a teenager. Okay, that's part of the problem.
The fact that she's a teenager drinking her sorrows away sets up for a lifetime of abuse.
Yes. Yeah, you don't suddenly decide to pick on a drinking problem at 19. We should be a lot more concerned about that. And again, my concern is that that's SJM aging her up for the sake of pairing her with a thousands of year old man.
Yeah. I can't even blame her. This is the first time she's been quote unquote free since she was a child.
You know, other people have ways of being free.
Well, I get what this person is trying to say, though.
Yeah.
Like, For the first time, all authority figures in her life are across the sea.
Yeah,
She has no one to answer to.
very true.
And the fact that she's able to scheme all the time in Rifthold is because it was a survival technique.
Do you want me to fuck us all up a little bit?
Sure.
This is what I'm not saying that I'm happy about this. This is what happens when she doesn't have a father authority figure.
And that's why she latches onto Rowan, Daddy Rowan.
I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine.
I will be your preacher teacher
till
till
the
end of time.
Girl needed a Boda box or two. What's a Boda box?
I have no idea. Wine box?
I guess.
Pretty understandable reaction, all things considered. Has to start low for the character development. I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
We need the character development. We need Celaena to be low.
100% warranted. She's allowed to crash out while she's figuring out her shit. Yeah. Again, we just need it to connect the dots a little bit more.
The girl's been through it. She deserves to have a little crash out as a treat.
As a treat. My girl just needs a bit of alcoholism in her life.
Defend until the day I die. Heir of Fire is my Roman Empire. Wow.
Wow. You guys are going to have to...
You guys have to convince me because this is
Yeah.
the most boring book in the series for me. And I say
Damn.
that with love to everyone who loves this. Like, don't get me wrong, love the series. I love Queen of Shadows more.
Yeah. Someone says, can we do both? Defend and bash?
She's just a girl, and a young girl at that. Let her be a little unhinged and lazy and drunk. If my 19-year-old sister did this, I'd kick her ass.
Yes. I think it's like, if you're going to choose alcoholism, be a bit more mature. Well, she was sent to kill her cousin. I'd get drunk too.
I think for me, it's the fact that she's not fully developed. She's not a fully cooked human.
Yeah.
Like, let's cause the neural damage after you've been fully cooked.
Again, killing her cousin is probably the straw that broke the camel's back. But it's still not enough for me to be like, yes, that's going to send her to a spiral.
Yeah, I think if there was anything, it was Archer sleeping with Rourke Farron, who's the one who tortured Sam. Like, that would have been the straw that broke the camel's back for me.
You know what? I agree. Or finding out that Nehemia was actually the one who manipulated her quite a bit. There's a lot more that could have caused her to lose it. Honestly, if you want me more on board,
she should have started drinking on the boat.
Yes and no. I would have been more on board with this if she started out angry at Nehemia.
Yeah.
If Celaena started this book being like, coward, she's called me a coward. What about the fact that you set me up, Nehemia? What about the fact that you lied to me? Like, if she had faced anger with Nehemia, I would believe this more.
Yeah. We've all been there after a breakup.
Did I drink a lot in college after my first boyfriend and I? We did a couple breakups and back together.
We did drink a bit, but we weren't big drinkers in general back then. We clubbed a lot.
Yeah, and like we drank a lot, but then we became bigger drinkers later.
Yeah, way bigger drinkers later. We drank a lot of beer.
Yeah. Look, sometimes shit hits you hard and you just need to get off your face.
It's giving Nesta post-Cauldron.
Mm-hmm. But again, I would say that's even more worth, things being upset.
I think this goes back to what we were saying, though. Like, it's not unjustifiable. It's not undefensible. It's the fact that SJM didn't make the effort to connect all the dots. That's what's wrong.
Agreed. This person says it very well. It was such whiplash starting off Heir of Fire. Like, Nehemia wasn't that good. Get over her. LOL.
Someone in the opposite camp, she lost her best friend Nehemia, broke up with her boyfriend, everything is going to shit in Rifthold, and her ex sent her off to another land. She had friends and a life and has kind of lost everything again. She's all alone in a land she doesn't know. I would probably be doing the same.
Initially, I was caught off guard by her stanky state, but it also checks with her emotional state. Her emotional state, all of it is aligned. The only thing that's not aligned is her past actions with her present actions.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Abso-fucking-lutely. Drink up, Buttercup. Your ex is being sus. Your bestie died. And, by the way, your cranky, selfish great-great-grandma said the world is in your hands. She's earned it.
You know what? Celaena's had someone that she loves die several times, right?
Mhm.
Sam included, and Nehemia dies, right? She feels like it's her fault, same like she did with Sam. She has felt that the responsibility has been on her shoulders before. The only difference between this trauma and past traumas is that she had sex. And maybe I could argue that this is what happens when you get dick down
Yeah, maybe.
and that dick betrays you.
Maybe. But then why wasn't she drinking on the boat?
Why wasn't that's the thing? It does not make sense. I will never bash. She always does what she has to do to survive.
Girl's been through a lot. She deserves a moment of defeat.
I'm going to read one last one.
Okay.
This one kind of summarizes it in a way that I do want to discuss a little bit more. She's valid like fuck. She went through it. Let her drink for a couple days. Now, I feel like we keep going back on like it just doesn't make sense. I also want to point out that this isn't her let's drink for a couple days. This was her not ending her drinking until Rowan stopped her.
Right. And then she's like, well, I guess I'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing, we don't see her go through withdrawal, but that's fine. We're not here for realism, folks.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I completely empathize with what Aelin is going through in the sense that, like, she has gone through shit.
Yeah.
She deserves to let go. And I don't blame her for giving up. SJM has not convinced me that Celaena has really reached that breaking point.
Mm-mm.
SJM ended Crown of Midnight in a way that made Aelin seem ready to take on the world. She had faced down magical beings twice and killed Archer and survived all the chaos that came after that. The author didn't do the work.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to.
Yep.
The reason why SGM gets away with it is because we can rationalize and empathize with Aelin.
And the rationale is okay. Actually, the rationale is still not okay enough because it doesn't show her past. The fact that she has had worst experiences and hasn't gone to this point, I think what makes it justifiable is that it's relatable.
Yeah.
And when I said earlier was Celaena's never been relatable, I think that someone might be like, yeah, I relate to her, but it's like truly think back to Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. Were you enslaved for a year? Were you put in an actual like assassin training? Like Celaena had gone through things that are not relatable.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we are seeing her drunk and depressed and just kind of like reveling in that. And that is something that we can all clock and say, yes, I've done that.
Yeah. I understand that feeling.
Yeah. And so I also wonder how much of that was needed to keep the series going by bringing in a relatable moment in book 3.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people might have ended book 1 and 2 thinking she's annoying, thinking that she's, the way that people always do with female main characters, right?
Yeah.
She just makes all these bad choices. Why was she mad at Chaol? Well, now you have to go with extreme relatability. I am also curious to see what was going on with SJM's life at the time, because we know that she's talked about her personal life kind of sometimes mirroring into her writing. I'm not saying that she was a drunkard at a point, but, it feels so human.
Yeah.
In a character who has had to rise and above human expectations so many times.
Right. And has been larger than life and will
Yeah.
continue to be larger than life.
And she gets to have these down moments. Absolutely. Then don't set her up at the end of Crown of Midnight to be this way.
Or do set her up.
Or yeah. Like don't set her up to do this accordingly. And I think that to me, this shows SJM didn't know what Heir of Fire was going to be.
Yeah. And or the beginning got rewritten after Crown of Midnight was published, right? Because it would have been so easy to introduce drinking at the end of Crown of Midnight.
More depression.
Yeah.
Just like she didn't have to go off wistful into the sunset thinking, all right, I made my vow. I said my piece. She didn't have to tell Chaol about her identity.
Yeah.
You know, like she told Chaol to keep him safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a lot of things that you could have tweaked. She could have told Chaol because she thought she was going to die.
Yeah. Well, that is why she told him.
Well, yeah, but like also to keep him safe, to give him all the knowledge of what's going on too.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that you could have tweaked at the ending of Crown of Midnight. But yeah. Is it all justifiable? Yeah. Is it all relatable? Yeah. Is it cohesive? No.
Not really.
All right. So that was our first Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks mini episode. These are going to be shorter, guys. But you know what? Feels long to us because we've been recording for 2.5 hours.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank you for listening to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jac and Amy. Join us next week as we dive into chapters 8 through 13 of Heir of Fire.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And, of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our form at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon-exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk. And of course, join us as we keep the analysis going by subscribing to our Substack to get more insights on the romantasy and romance world. Head to the subtextsocietyjournal.substack.com.
Bye.
Bye.
AG1 Next Gen is a daily health drink clinically shown to support gut health and fill in common nutrient gaps.
What I love about AG1 is the live probiotics that are in the drink in addition to the 75 plus minerals and vitamins. I've tried the probiotic pills and it just doesn't work for me.
You are a probiotic girl.
I try so hard.
My favorite part about AG1 Next Gen is the fact that they have multiple gold standard clinical trials. In an industry where not everyone invests heavily on research, AG1 Next Gen goes to great lengths to continually invest in rigorous peer-reviewed clinical trials.
Not only does AG1 support gut health, it also boosts energy, provides daily nutrients, and supports your immune system. Head to drinkag1.com/booktalk to get a free welcome kit, including a bottle of vitamin D and free AG1 travel packs when you first subscribe.
That's drinkag1.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK. I have been looking for a multivitamin for a really long time, and Ritual has actually always been on my list to check out. And I am so happy that we are partnering with them today because Ritual's essential multis have the nutrients most of us don't get from our food, and all in their clean, absorbable forms.
They're super heavily researched, and there's no shady additives or ingredients that do more harm to your body, which is exactly what I need because I already do enough harm to my body.
And I'm right there with you. I use the Ritual Essential for Women 18 plus, but I also really love their daily protein because getting protein is a full-time job, and Ritual helps me.
I've been loving their Synbiotic Plus gut health because, as all of you know, my gut hates me. It gives you the necessary prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics for a healthy system.
Their Essential for Women 18 Plus multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day.
Ritual's multivitamins are vegan, non-GMO, project verified, gluten, and made allergen-free. And even if you don't think you need those things, trust me, you need those things.
Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health.
Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/booktalk.
Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK for 25% off.